So my next project is coming along well. The little money box, that's an example of the coins fitting in the little slots that are felted. I got all the slots all felted, but we have an adjustable bed that vibrates for helping with massage when you're in pain and stuff. And we've had it for 20 years. It's worked pretty good over that time, but the motors eventually give out. So this is the motor, and let's see if I can get it to turn on. If you can hear that noise, that's not what it's supposed to sound like. It's supposed to just gently vibrate. That motor, let's see, that motor stopped working at all. This one is vibrating all the heck and back and not doing all that great. This one's not vibrating at all, and it should be. It's time to replace things. And since they said they didn't want the old motors back, I get to take them apart afterwards and see what went wrong. So to swap these, they're screwed in behind rubber blankets that hold them in place. And then there's just this little track that the cords are tucked in. So following that one down and that one over, it was right here in the control box. So I plugged the new one in, and now if I turn the bass on, I don't know if you can hear that, but that's how it's supposed to sound. Just a low vibration versus the noise. Now it's time to just get and swap them out. So basically unscrew, unhook, because this little foot hooks into the rubber pad, and then there's foam in there to also hold it, and you just swap them out. All right, the two new motors that I have are in, and I have to order the other ones, but that's all right. So that will work much better. Now they vibrate and don't have really loud bad noises, and they actually vibrate because two of them were not vibrating at all and two of them had bad noises. So the first step of taking it apart is get the case open, and that actually went pretty well. And yeah, it came out. Well, it's open, and you can see all the dust that's in it. And basically this is just a little motor that has these oblong cams or offset cam, non-centered, and it just sits there and spins and spins and spins. It's a little DC motor. This specific one is that kind. So I'm guessing that there's I don't know where else that dust would come from except for somewhere inside the motor. And these motors are the pinched shut case, so they don't come apart. But something in there has decided that it's not going to work anymore. So yeah, that's why. And all four of the ones that I took out are all noisy like this one was. So I'm sure they all have that same problem. So something in the motor, after you run it for years, starts to disintegrate, and then it all starts coming out, and then you can feel it. It might be the bearings, because you can feel it go click, 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 click where the bearings are. So it may also just be that the bearings are bad, or maybe there's something in there. I may try and get one apart, even though that it's not a working thing. So destroying it is not going to hurt anything. As far as I know, there's no way to fix it. Now maybe when I get it apart, I'll find out, oh, I could have just done this. But because these motors are pinched to hold the casing on, I don't have a machine that pinches that, and getting it to unpinch is probably not straightforward. So next, I have to try and get it apart. So first, try and get it such that it'll open up, and realize I have to cut things. So get the hacksaw out, cut things off, bang things. It looks like it's moving. I need to cut the other side off. So cut the other side off, and then pound over the bent-in tabs, and then use a punch to punch it out, and it came out. So now the time is to diagnose it. Okay, as you saw, I cut both ends off. The weights are not magnetic. It had this little circuit board, handled the spinning and such. It's fairly basic. Looks like mostly just resistors maybe. And I think that's a line conditioner. I don't know. I'm not an electronic person, in case you haven't noticed on the channel. I'm getting there, but not there yet. These are just the little pieces that transfer the electricity and such to the motor, and they're worn. Like, those little bits are definitely worn. And when I say little bits, I mean, if I can get it to stay. And so these little tiny pieces, that's where the shaft would run, and those are definitely worn. So that's part of the problem. And then it looks like these are not real bearings. They're just little bushings. So that's another problem. They're not designed to last long. That's fine for stuff. It sucks that they don't make stuff that just runs and runs and runs. But, you know, they're cheap, more or less. So the shaft just floats in there, and when that dries out, I'm sure this gets worn, and then the motor starts moving. So it looks like this is worn where the little pieces, and I used to know what those were. Brushes, that's it, the little brushes. So where the brushes was running, that's a little bit worn. The motor itself looks okay. Obviously it doesn't work because I cut things off and smashed things, but I think the dust may have been from the magnet. I could be wrong. There was a lot of dust in there, and the small amounts off the brushes would not explain that, and I don't think the wearing of the brushes or this would generate that amount of dust. The only other thing that would be wearing is this, and that's not that worn. Neither was the other end that I didn't get removed. So the only other thing I can think of is maybe once the brushes and stuff, especially the end pieces, started to wear a little bit, maybe it started wearing out some of the magnet. It's possible. They are permanent magnets. Somewhere here. Where is it? There. Interesting. It's not as magnetic as it was before I took the motor out. So that's different. It definitely likes the motor. So, yeah. But that's why it didn't work. Because combination of worn brushes and most likely these things. I don't know if that's... Those seem like metal. So I wonder if that's a bronze bushing or some sort that it's supposed to run on. Or an oil-light bearing or something. But the magnet definitely likes the motor to be in there. It definitely likes that. But yeah, that's why it was not working, is worn insides and it's not fixable. I mean, if I hadn't cut the ends off, maybe I could have got it to work again by redoing these with actual bearings for what was running on the shaft, but it's not worth it. I just buy new ones and recycle these. But at least now I know. Combination of brushes, this not working right, and yeah,